Classic Rock 102.9 MGK presents On the Record. Now, here's Andre Gardner.
My very special guest has truly done it all in rock and roll. This one man, in one insane career, has been a member of the Plastic Ono Band, played on both Instant Karma and Imagine by John Lennon, played on George Harrison's All Things Must Pass album. He was in Ginger Baker's Air Force as a drummer and lived to tell about it. He played with Joe Cocker, Denny Lane, The Ventures, and oh yeah, he had to learn how to play 5 albums worth of Yes material in like a week back in 1972. This is the great Alan White, who was joined. Is that all correct, Alan?
Yeah, you sound... You're really good, and you're correct. But, I can't even remember myself. There's about another 15 more people I played with in the past. I made about 60 albums about at one time, and I was in so many bands at the same time. It was getting a bit hard. But at the same time, they were all good bands, so I'm proud of it.
Oh, yes, they were. And Alan is joining us here to talk about Yes 50, which is, of course, the 50th anniversary of one of the greatest bands of all time, and one that we have a special love for.
Isn't that quite amazing? Just being a band that's the 50th anniversary.
I know,
and
right?
I've been in the band 46, going on 47 of those years.
Alan, your brush with fame first was with the Blue Chips back in the day. One of your first bands. You won a Melody Maker contest, right? How exciting must that have been?
I don't know if I can remember back that far, but it was the Downbeats actually, and they changed their name to the Blue Chips.
Well, but how exciting must that have been to win a contest and get to drive to London and compete all the way from Newcastle as a kid, you know?
Yeah, I was only about 30. Let's see, I was 13 or 14, somewhere around that age.
My God, and how did you get? Do you remember how you got down to London that day from Newcastle to audition for the talent show?
No, we won the local. There was local competition, and then we won that. And then when we went to the national competition and performed at the Palladium in London. And the judges were Brian Epstein, Cilla Black, and Ringo Starr, and an old DJ from BBC Radio. So pretty incredible.
Wow! And you guys won, and you got a recording contract and a chance to record a single. Is that right?
That's right. But what was his name? The guy that did Downtown with Petunia Clark, I remember that.
Tony Hatch?
Yeah, that was the guy we won a contract with. Yeah.
Wow, Tony Hatch, that's outstanding.
Anyhow, yeah, it was all like I was very young at the time. I was still going to school, so I had to get back. I had to still get back and go to school on Monday morning.
And you're almost an architect, but rock and roll came calling, and then you're next thing you know, you're playing in the Gamblers with Billy Fury, and then you're working with Alan Price and Griffin.
How come you know more about me than I do?
Because I'm an Uber fan, Alan. I can't help it. I'm an Uber fan. You know what I want to do for this podcast, though, Alan? And for those who haven't had a chance to hear Griffin, because I think Griffin was a fantastic band, I want to play a little clip right now. Obviously, we're podcasting, so we can't play too much for copyright purposes, but I just want you to take a listen to this. This is from a John Peel session from October 69, and this is called What a Day It's Been. Listen to this. This is Alan White on drums with a band called Griffin.
Oh, my God.
Listen to this.
You got that.
This is Griffin, another group that I hope you'll hear a great deal more of in 1970, and this is What a Day It's Been.
That was incredible. How exciting must that have been? And you got the seal of approval from John Peel, too.
I know. That's a national hero in England at that time.
And and it was through that band Griffin that you came in contact with John and Yoko, right?
That I was actually working with that band in clubs in London when I got the call from John Lennon to go play with Plastic Ono Band.
You thought you were being goofed on the phone, didn't you?
Well, yeah, sure. I thought it was a friend of mine I think it was Sunday morning or something like that, and I was cooking in the kitchen trying to keep all my band alive. And the phone went and said, "I've got a gig tomorrow. I just saw you playing in a club. You want to come and do a gig?" And I said, "Who's it?" He said, "John Lennon." And I went, "Oh, sure." and put the phone down on him. And he called like 10 minutes later, and he said, "No, seriously, this is John Lennon." And then that's when I hit the floor, and I went, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll go with you." And that was a total change in my career.
Wow. Flying into Toronto, and you're like, boy, this is a pretty cool band, and out walks Eric Clapton, and you're just like, what is going on here? My God.
Yeah, he said, "Oh, by the way," that's after I got to the airport. He said, "By the way, Eric Clapton's playing guitar."
Jeez.
And I said, "Oh, really? That's interesting. Very good." And I got to be very good friends with everybody, really, especially Eric. Eric became a pretty good friend over the years.
Oh, this is so exciting. We're talking with Alan White of Yes here at 102.9 MGK. It is hashtag Yes50, the 50th anniversary of one of the most beloved bands in the classic rock canon. We'll get to see him for 2 nights on July 20th and 21st.
Yeah.
And Alan is...
We're always looking forward to come to Philly, and the band is playing great. We're rehearsing right now. In fact, I'm leaving right after this interview. I'm going straight to rehearsals, and I got to plow into it again.
Can you give us any clue of what you're working on? Combining some favorites and maybe pulling out some lesser played songs?
Oh, they you get a good spectrum of Yes music. Things that people have heard before that they love to hear when they come to a concert. No, also some songs we haven't really done for quite a while. We're playing Awaken. I'm playing Awaken. And, we sat down and went Awaken. Okay, I've played it a million times over the years. But it's a damn difficult piece of music, and it's a really anthem-type piece, and it's quite an outstanding piece of work.
Oh, outstanding! We can't wait to see it. I've always wanted to know this, Alan. You joined Yes in '72 right before their Close to the Edge tour to replace Bill Bruford, and that sort of came together because you shared a flat with Eddie Offord. Is that right? Who was producing him at the time?
Yeah, well, Eddie and myself were out. We're not out in the town raving or anything. We went for a meal or something, and then Eddie said I have to stop by his Yes rehearsals. I went by there, and Bill Bruford had just left, and all the band was had their guitars around their necks and just sitting there, and John was standing, and everybody was going, "Okay, I guess we better pack up. No drummer," kind of thing. And Eddie said, "No, I can play this kind of stuff," which I could, because I'd already been playing with a band my own band that played really kind of odd time signature, a little bit more jazz fusion type rock and roll, all that kind of stuff, and like Zapperish stuff, and a mixture of a lot of things. And anyhow, which set me up. I had good knowledge of all that kind of stuff when I went in there, and it was an interest of mine, odd time signatures, but making them sound like you're playing in 4/4. And the first song I ever played was Siberian Couture.
My God, yeah, the first song on the tour, right? That was the song that kicked off the '72 tour. My God, right out of the gate. I always wondered, since you knew Eddie Offord and were kind of hanging around, did you have any inkling that anything was going on with Bruford and Yes before he came to you and asked you to join?
No, I just think he was. I don't know whether he was bored or he thought this is not right for me or something. And he struck up a relationship with Robert Fripp, and they were planning on King Crimson.
Right. This is Alan White from Yes, and we'll get to see him and Steve Howe and Jeff Downs and John Davidson and Billy Sherwood July 20th and 21st at the Fillmore, celebrating the 50th anniversary of one of our most beloved bands. And Alan, John, and Billy have turned into such integral members of the band. And my God, for Billy being the hand-picked successor to Chris Squire must be pretty humbling for him.
Well, Chris and myself, over the years, worked with Billy a lot on different projects, like side projects. The three of us had a band together called, what was it called again? Conspiracy. First of all, it was the Chris Squire experiment, and it turned its name into Conspiracy, and it was just a side project that Chris and myself were doing with Billy, and that turned, Billy, his mentor was Chris, so he knew everything he played and everything he sang and played, so it was a little bit of a novice choice.
Now, the Yes 50 tour isn't the only exciting news from the Yes camp. On June 29th, there's going to be 5 Yes studio albums. Yes album, Fragile, Close to the Edge, Tales from Topographic Oceans, and Relay are coming out on vinyl on a box set and remixed by Steven Wilson, the guy who seems to be remixing everything these days. And it's called...
I know. I think he's going to remix me.
Yeah, right. He's going to actually literally remix you, Alan. You're going to sound completely... I don't know how, but you already sound great. You don't need remixing. So which one of those albums do you think will be most striking to hear when we put them on?
I was very impressed with Topographic. Relay has got to be fantastic.
Oh, outstanding. 180 gram, that'll sound great. Now, how are you feeling these days? I know back in 2016 you had some successful back surgery.
Yeah, totally kind of feeling better. I'm walking real good and feeling a million times better. The last 2 years have really been crap, and it took a lot of fighting to get through, but I'm coming out the other end. I'm
so glad to hear that. Are you doing like extra PT before a show, or does that help? Yeah, a little. I always do stretching and just get everything fly, so I don't pull anything and cause any more damage. You have to take care of yourself when you get a little bit older, and I think everybody in the band are pretty careful about taking care of themselves. Absolutely. Now, you guys, obviously, some of the biggest rock stars in the world, traveled on jets and all that stuff, but you never struck me as the destroy the hotel room kind of band.
Oh, no, close to a few occasions, but never really gone that far. We never got really crazy after-show parties and tons of girls and all that kind of stuff. Never really happened with us. The accent was more on the music and get it done and then get some rest and carry on.
Oh, what beautiful music it is indeed. Alan White, our special guest, drummer for Yes, #Yes50. You're seeing it all over Twitter in celebration of this beloved band's 50th anniversary. They're playing for us 2 times.
And we're doing, and we are doing a meet and greet type thing in the afternoon for the fan club.
Yes, I want to talk about that. It's called 50 True Summers, of course, based off a roundabout, and it's at the Foundry on the 21st, and you get access and Q&A. Patrick Moraz will be there, Tony Kaye, Roger Dean. It's great for you to interact with the fans, too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a few of us are going. I don't know. I don't know how many of the band will be there, but I'm certainly going to trying to make an appearance. It all depends on our schedule and rehearsals and sound checks and all that kind of stuff, but I'm sure we'll try and make it.
And if anybody is going to the 50 True Summers Fan Fest and you get to meet Roger Dean, ask him the story about the piece of cake he ate on the plane before designing the Topographic Oceans cover. It's got a great story about that. Alan White, you rock. Thank you for all the wonderful music you've made for us over the years, and thanks for being our special guest.
It's a pleasure, and it's a pleasure. And you know what? Philly's a very special place in the band's heart. So we all love Philly. That's where the band started, and that's where we're coming again after after 50 years, I guess.
That's right. Ed Shockey played you from the early days. We love you, Alan. We can't wait to see you.
All right, good old Ed. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alan.
All right, man.